Commissioner Gage.
Here.
Commissioner Gary.
Here.
Commissioner Lynn.
Here.
Commissioner Ostrout.
Here.
Commissioner Twardy.
Commissioner Lynn.
Move to excuse Commissioner Twardy.
Support.
Been moved, supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you very much. I would ask those with cell phones if you would please silence them. We would appreciate it. Item number 1 is Police Patrol Officer Oath. We have Chief Riley.
Good evening, Mayor and Council,
Evening.
Commission. We have a new officer that actually started a week ago. It's not your phone. But we'd like to present them in front of the commission so the commission can put a face with the name. And we're going to start with Robin. We'll give him the oath of office, and then I'll do the oath of honor.
Great.
I'd like to call Jerome Kaczynski up. Jerome comes to us from the Rogers City area. He's a graduate of LSSU and the LSSU Academy. Jerome, he's a veteran, 3 years in the Army, which I'm very proud of. And I'd like to welcome his parents. They're in the audience.
Great.
We'll go ahead with Robin.
Have you raise your right hand? I do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of office of police officer in and for the city of Sault Ste. Marie, County of Chippewa, State of Michigan, according to the best of my abilities. Congratulations.
Jerome, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. After I put these on. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust.
On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust.
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions.
I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agency I serve.
I will always uphold the Constitution, my community, and the agencies I serve.
Congratulations. When I came here this evening, there was something in the police department mailbox. I'd like to present you with your Blue Cross card. Now, I'd like the commission to look at this. I used to look like that. This is what 30 years in law enforcement does to you.
That's impossible.
Thank you.
Hope you don't need that card too much. I'm Steve Fennell, City Attorney. If you need anything, just give me a call.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Good to see you again. Hope to see you. Congratulations. Welcome. Thank you very much. Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to have you on the force here, Jerome, and thank you very much. Nice to have the parents here, too. Great.
Your Honor, would you pronounce his last name for us?
Kapczynski.
Okay.
Close? Okay, thanks. Okay, item number 2, public comment on scheduled agenda items. Any person may reserve time to speak on an agenda item, not to exceed 3 minutes per person. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on an agenda item? Oh, Rob? Okay, Rob, when it gets to your item. Yes, Ron, when it gets to that time, we'll call on you. That's item, what is it? 5B. Okay. Thanks. Anyone else? Okay, we have the item number 3, the consent agenda. Deputy City Manager Troyer.
Under the consent agenda, A, minute approval. 1, approval of the minutes of the regular City Commission meeting of October 17, 2016. Recommended action is to approve the minutes of the regular City Commission meeting of October 17, 2016. Item 2, acceptance of the minutes of the following boards and commissions. A, Airport Advisory Board of September 8th. B, Community Services Board of October 25th. C, Economic Development Corporation of September 13th. D, Sault Ste. Marie Housing Commission of September 21st. E, TIFA 3 of July 12th. F, PEHP Firefighters Unit of October 13th. G, Police Fire Pension Board of August 17th. And H, Police Fire Pension Board of September 28th. Recommended action, accept the minutes of the various boards and commissions. Item B, appointments and resignations. 1, appointment to the PEHP Firefighters Unit. Recommended action is appoint Paul Young to the PEHP Firefighters Unit to fill the balance of a term set to expire March 15, 2018. Item C, special orders of business. 1, authorization for the mayor to sign a letter of support for EUP Regional Planning's 2017 Rural Prosperity Initiative Grant application. Recommended action, authorize the mayor to sign a letter of support for EUP Regional Planning's Prosperity Initiative Grant application. Item D, City Manager's Report. 1, approval of a budget for the fence at Alfred Park. Recommended action, approve a budget for the installation of a permanent fence along the shoreline of Alfred Park at a cost of $9,600 with funding coming from the Carbide Dock reserves.
Okay, thank you. Is there any commissioner who would like something further explained on the consent agenda? Commissioner Gage.
I just wanted to point out for item C1, we do have Eric Wodeski from the Regional Planning Office here, so I don't know if you have anything you wanted to say or.
We wanted to have you talk for a second about it. That'd be all right.
Excuse me?
He's from the Regional Planning.
I understand that, but
If you'd like me to speak about what we're asking for a letter of support for, I would be more than happy to do it.
I just wanted to point out he was here.
okay, thank you.
We're not-
If you'd like to speak on that item briefly, sure.
Jeff told me to show up because you guys would have questions. So, is anyone here not familiar with what the Regional Prosperity Initiative is? Just show of hands. All right, so real briefly, the Regional Prosperity Initiative is a state funding mechanism that we get. With that funding, we had to write a 5-year plan, which you may or may not have seen press releases in the paper over the past couple of years. We merged it with our federal plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. And what the Regional Prosperity Initiative does is gives regional planning some funding to carry out projects that we list in the plan, which is really unique because traditionally it would be up to the municipalities such as Sault Ste. Marie to do that work. And so now regional planning is working at the same time as local units of government to carry out the plan, which is unique and it's a really great funding opportunity for us that the more support we get, in theory, we might be able to get closer to the $250,000 grant maximum that we're seeking. So just a couple of things that we're thinking about doing this year with the grant application. We're going to look at doing a retail target market analysis, which will help local, our DDA, for instance, and some other economic development organizations. We're looking at tourism, master planning education for some smaller municipalities in the region without a planning department. We're going to look to do community development mini grants. We're going to look to do some grant writing assistance. We're looking to do a developers forum, which we would partner with the EDC, possibly the DDA here in Sault Ste. Marie, as well as in some of our other county seats. We're going to look at doing a regional trails coordination, try and consolidate some of these trail groups that we have in the region to go after larger grants and have a more comprehensive overview of our trail system. We're going to look at doing some agriculture and farming stuff. and then some technical assistance to our local economic development organizations, probably in the form of reimbursement for going to trainings relative to what their purviews are. So do a lot of things. Each of the past 3 years we've gotten this, we've done lots of things. So I'd be happy to talk more about it. Website talks all about it, but that's the
Great. No, thank you
down
very
and
much
dirty.
for explaining that. Great. Any questions of Eric? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
And we appreciate it.
Yep. Okay, anyone else have a, well, roll call, we need a motion. Commissioner Gage.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Bospas?
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Gage?
Yes.
Commissioner Gary?
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout?
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
Item 4, special orders of business. A, public hearing on single lot special assessment, roll SL-2N-16 and SL-2W-16. A is public comments, and B is action on the single lot assessment.
Okay, thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. As outlined within the memorandum, twice annually, in time for both the summer tax bill and winter tax bill, City Administration develops a list of unpaid bills related to specific properties for consideration as single lot special assessments. This includes bills generated by both the Inspection Department as well as any outstanding water bills where water has been terminated and the bill remains unpaid. As a note, the amounts that would be established through the single lot special assessment process total $5,341.51 for water and sewer, and $2,952.60 for code enforcement and building department activities. It would be my recommendation that the Mayor and Commission conduct a public hearing on single lot special assessment roll SL-2N-16 and single lot special assessment roll SL-2W-16, and following the public hearing, considering any comments made, that the City Commission confirm both of the special assessment rolls. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And at this time, we'll hold a public hearing on the single lot special assessment roll SL-2N-16 and the single lot special assessment roll SL-2W-16. Is there anyone in the audience like to comment at this time? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public comment. Commissioner Bauer.
So moved the city manager's recommendation.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Gage?
Yes.
Commissioner Gary?
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout?
Yes.
Mayor Bospas?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you.
Item 5, communications. A is from the Downtown Development Authority. Request to schedule a public hearing of necessity for Principal Shopping District.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Turner.
Thank you, Mayor. On this matter, I've requested that DDA Director Knepper present to the City Commission.
Okay. Evening, Justin.
Principal Shopping District has been, I think, 3 years since we actually expanded the district in 2013 down into the tourist district, but it's on a 5-year special assessment cycle. It is one of the original funding mechanisms that was set up in the early 2000s by the Hyatt Palma study. The Downtown Development Authority has the tax increment finance funds, and then we also levy a 2 mil special assessment on all of the properties in the downtown area. We've generated approximately between $35,000 and $40,000 per year out of this assessment. The way that it works is that every 5 years we set the assessment rate if the voters renew it and the city commission approves it. And for those 5 years, it's set at that flat rate based on that initial year assessment value. This year, our assessment value appears to be a little bit lower. My rough calculation is around $33,000 that we'd be looking at for all of downtown. It's based on about a $16 million tax value for all of the DDA district. And that money is specifically used by the Downtown Development Authority Principal Shopping District. The board serves as both the Principal Shopping District Board as well as the DDA Board. That money is specifically meant to promote shopping and marketing efforts for the downtown. So it's where we do all of our, most of our funding that comes for our events, for our promotions, for our marketing, things like our Christmas open house coming up in a month. At this point, what I'm hoping that the commission will consider is scheduling the public hearing necessity. I believe we're looking at the, I was originally thinking the end of November, but it looks like we have to do the first meeting in December because it's a 20-day public notice period for all of our special assessment payers that would receive their notice that the assessment would come due and how much the amount would be, and then they'd have a chance to come to the hearing.
So instead of the November 21st, you're looking at the Monday of December 5th?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Could you just say the boundaries of the principal shopping district?
Yep. The boundaries of the principal shopping district are they overlay the entire downtown development authority. So on the south end, Rite Aid is the southernmost property on the corner of Eastern and Ashman. Then it runs up Ashman Street, catches both sides of Ashman and a little bit of Court Street on the east. Specific to commercial properties. There's no assessment on homes in the area, and then it runs all the way up Ashman Street across the Ashman Bridge, swings over eastward to Bingham Street, catches the properties on Bingham, up to the corner here of Bingham and Portage, and then it wraps around Portage all the way down to Carl's Cuisine and the mini golf course, and just catches those commercial properties on Portage. Comes back around east again and south on Osborne, wraps around Osborne, catches the backside of the hospital area, and ends back at the Ashman Bridge.
Okay. Any other questions of Justin? So we have a motion for the principal shopping district public hearing necessity for December 5th.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer.
So moved that the commission schedule a hearing of necessity to be held on December 5th at our regular meeting of City Commission regarding the extension of the principal shopping district as presented.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Are there any questions? Roll call, please. Thank you, Justin.
Commissioner Gage,
Yes.
Commissioner Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout,
Yes.
Mayor Bosmus,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Item B is from the Chippewa County Road Commission, Local Agency Wetland Mitigation Bank Advisory Board.
Okay, and tonight we have with us Rob Leighton, Road Commission Superintendent. Welcome. And if you'd just like to explain that a bit to the commission, then we can move on that item.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. and Thank you, Commissioner.
You see the microphone in front of you?
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay, there.
Thanks.
Thanks for the opportunity to come in and speak on this. It's a particular item of particular interest to me. My interest in it stems from some ongoing battles with wetland and mitigation issues as it relates to the Road Commission over time. And I've developed quite an interest in the topic and quite a knowledge of the law around it. And fortunately, in this past year, our legislature passed, I believe it was Act 246? I couldn't remember the number.
Yes.
In that act, they created a wetland mitigation banking fund as it relates to transportation agencies. So any Act 51 agencies, cities and villages, county road commissions, MDOT, and so on and so forth. So, and what that does, it takes some of the burden. It's a grant program. It's funded at $2 million a year by the legislature, and it is there for transportation agencies to apply to use for acquisition of properties, engineering and design, construction of wetland mitigation banks, for use as they relate to transportation projects. And in particular, what I'm looking for as part of that creation of that fund was also the creation of an oversight board to oversee the dispersal of that fund statewide. That board's made up of, it's going to be of 7 members, 3 of which are appointed by Michigan Municipal League, 3 appointed by the County Road Association of Michigan. I'm seeking appointment by the County Road Association to be one of the members of that board, and I'm looking for the support of the city in doing that. I think it's important to have Eastern UP representation on that board. It's very segregated, I guess, on how people are appointed. It's based on population, and there'll be one county one appointee from a county of greater than 400,000, one from a county with a population between 65 and 400,000, and one from a county of less than 65,000.
And that'd be you.
And that would be me, hopefully. The thing of it is, that's also the one area with the most competition as far as people looking toward that. The the very high population counties, there's very few to choose from. But when it gets to that under 65,000, there's quite a few in the state.
Sure.
So I'm looking for every bit of support that I can to be a member of that board, and I appreciate the.
Well, let me just start by saying we thank you very much for your interest in being appointed to that, and we hope our resolution adds some support to that, to your candidacy. I guess we're very fortunate to have a person of your qualifications from this local area willing to serve on that board, and it could go forward being a very important regulatory board and recommending the kind of changes that would benefit our area. So,
I thank you. I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I think the Eastern UP sits in a very good, ideal area, actually, by both our topography and our soils and the availability of land that is easily converted and created into wetland mitigation. And so we sit in a very advantageous position. The other thing with this act and in creation of these banks, it will allow to go across jurisdictional boundaries as it relates to transportation agencies. So if an entity were to create a large mitigation bank in our area, other areas such as Oakland County or any other county areas, other cities, villages throughout the state can purchase those credits out of a local bank here. Those are only as they relate to transportation projects. Also, 20% of any acreage created here is made available for private development, available for purchases credits toward private development. So there's an economic development addition onto this as well. So again, I thank you for the kind words, and I hope that.
Any questions of Mr. Layton? Commissioner Gage?
It's more of a comment.
Okay.
I've always enjoyed working with Mr. Layton, and I think he's done a fantastic job with the road commission. And given how important this could be for our area, it might be smart for us to reach out to other municipalities like St. Agnes, Newberry, even as far as Marquette potentially too. So I think it might be a smart idea for us to reach out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Commissioner Osterhout, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I so move that we support the city manager's recommendation in supporting Rob Layton for the Wetlands Mitigation Bank Advisory Board.
Support.
The move supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Good luck to you. Okay. Item number 6 is the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A under the city manager's report would provide for the award of a bid for the purchase of a 2017 four-wheel drive 3/4 ton pickup with plow for the street department. On this matter, I've requested that DPW Director Morrow present to the city commission, as well as the next item as well.
Okay, thank you. Evening, Jim.
Good evening. Yes, for this fiscal year, the DPW was approved for 2 pickup trucks, one in the street department and one in the water department. The street department one is a 3/4 ton heavier duty truck with a plow. We use them for plowing alleys, smaller parking lots, some wide sidewalks, and the multi-use trail that goes along the business spur. We try to use these pickups to plow wherever we can. They're quicker in these tighter areas that we have, and they're a lot cheaper to run than a plow truck. We're replacing a 2000 Ford F-250 with over 110,000 miles on it, and that's going to go on to Gov Deals. It's really just about had it. We opened 5 bids on this particular truck, and the lowest one was from Sioux Motors, a Ford, for $32,599. We did budget $32,500, so there's a $99 shortfall in our budgeted funds. My fault. We bought almost an identical truck last year, and it cost $31,079. So gas prices are down. They're selling a lot of trucks, and that's the prices are going up. The other truck we're requesting is for the water and sewer department. It's a half-ton four-wheel drive pickup. It's replacing a 3/4 ton 2004 pickup that's in poor condition, but we could probably get a couple more years out of it, used for like the watering truck for downtown or something like that. It's having four-wheel drive issues and things like that, but if we use it just in the summertime, we can get a little more use out of it. We're using lighter trucks in the water department because we cross-use a lot of equipment between the street department, so we don't need those heavier-duty trucks anymore. Again, the low bid meeting specs on this was from O'Connor's in Pickford for a Dodge.
Wait, we're on A though. Let's
I'm
do
sorry.
one.
I thought
Let's
we
do
were
just one
jumping
at a time.
trucks here. Okay.
Okay. So the first one is the Sioux Motors.
Mhm,
for the
Sioux
pickup.
Motors.
Okay, Commissioner Lynn.
So move that we purchase the truck For Street Department?
Mhm.
From Sioux Motors.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout,
Yes.
Mayor Bosbus.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Now, item number B was I'll let the manager read the thing, and then we'll get to your...
Item B, under the city manager's report, would provide for the award of a bid for the purchase of a 2017 four-wheel drive half-ton pickup for the Water and Sewer Department.
Okay, James.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
That's okay.
This truck is for the Water and Sewer Department. It's a half-ton, four-wheel drive pickup. It's replacing a 2004 F three-quarter ton in poor condition. Again, we're trying to get a couple more years out of it in the downtown. If we can. If we can't, we're just going to sell it on Gov Deals. It's in poor condition. It doesn't look good either. Anyway, low bid was O'Connor's, $22,755, and we have plenty of funds available for this purchase.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Gage.
So move the manager's recommendation.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Are there any questions? Thank you, Jim. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lynn,
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout,
Yes.
Mayor Bosbus.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you.
Item C, under the city manager's report, would provide for the award of a bid for stump removals. On this matter, City Engineer Basista is presenting to the City Commission.
Evening, Linda.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. As you are well aware, Cloverland cleared a lot of trees in town this summer, and we did promise our residents that we would remove the stumps. And so we'd been tracking Cloverland's progress and identified each and every tree and stump out there. And the stumps that we will be removing, I just want to say, is in lawn areas. So there are a lot of trees that were removed, say, along 16th or some of the roads that don't have lawns associated with them. Those we're not going to do anything with. So there are 144 stumps of various sizes. We broke the stumps down into categories of sizes. We placed advertisement for bids, and we had 3 bidders: KWAS Landscaping, Little Man Services, and Just Right Tree Service. KWAS Landscaping was the low bidder at $15,873. The contract is to start as soon as we execute the contract. They can start anytime. Depending on the weather, they might work through the winter. I haven't talked to them yet as to what their plans are, but I would imagine they might take advantage of this, I don't know, this pleasant weather we're having, and start. And they have until June 15th to complete.
Okay. Any questions, Linda? Commissioner Gary.
I just wanted to make a note that Cloverland is actually funding 10,000 of the total cost for this.
Yeah, Cloverland has committed to $10,000 of the cost, and the remaining will come from the tree maintenance operating account in the budget. And along with the approval of the contract, I'd like a budget revision of $5,900 to the tree maintenance contracted services operating line item.
So I make the motion to award the contract to KWAS Landscaping for stump removal in the amount of $15,873.
Okay, that's the first recommendation. There's a second recommendation also, okay? Are there any questions on the first recommendation? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Osterhout,
Yes.
Mayor Bosbus.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Commissioner Gary.
I make a motion to approve a budget revision of $5,900 to the tree maintenance contracted services account in the amount of $5,900.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. Are there any questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor Bosbus.
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Gage.
Yes.
Commissioner Gary.
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn.
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Thank you.
Item D, under City Manager's report, is also a presentation by City Engineer Basista providing for the authorization to apply for a Federal Lands Access Program funding application.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening again.
Yeah.
This may seem familiar to you. It's just last year that we applied for this grant last year. It is Federal Lands Access Program, FLAP grant, and it takes the place of previous in previous programs where it was transportation funds eligible to national forestry lands. So they've since revised this, and now it's for all access to any federal land. It is a competitive grant, and so, but I think the Sulaks is a quite significant federal land that we provide access to. And so the grant application will be to mill and resurface West Portage Avenue from Easter Day to Osborne Avenue. And it will be, we can apply up to three grants. We'll be applying for 2 just based on the amounts of the projects. The most critical one, our priority, if we get to choose one out of, if we're awarded one, our priority would be from the West Portage Bridge to Osborne, which is be right in front of the, go right in front of the locks. And then the other section would be from the bridge to Easter Day. So the amount is the same as last year's application, in total project cost of $1,055,000. $105,000 of that would be engineering, which would not be grant eligible. So if we receive this, I've put into, this is a call for projects from 2018 to 2020, but since the business spur will be under construction in 2018, if we get this, I'd like to move forward with it in 2019, and we would budget for it accordingly.
Yeah, maybe just a question. That's the tourist area. Would that be a fall or an early spring? No, when you mill and resurface, that's it doesn't take long, but it
mill
does.
and resurfaces don't take long. As you know, we did West Portage between
Yes.
Ashman and Osborne.
Overnight, I think it was, right?
Yeah, it was quick. It was, and so yeah, we would structure the contract so that they didn't interrupt the tourist and season, and we definitely want to do it before the peak or after the peak of the tourist season.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Gage.
I move that the City Commission authorize the application for FLAP funds as described above.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Are there any additional questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bauer?
Yes.
Commissioner Gage?
Yes.
Commissioner Gary?
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout?
Yes.
Mayor Boswitz?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you, Linda.
Item E, under the City Manager's Report, will provide for the approval of the 3-month budget review through September 30th. On this matter, Finance Director and Treasurer Collins is planning to present to the Commission.
Evening, Kristen.
Hello, everybody. We got through 1/4 of the fiscal year at September 30th, and this report is as of that date. We had a donation to the fire department of $100, and I would like to increase the expenditure so that they can add that to their budget. We had the HR department. We are leaving that budget in place for now until a determination can be made of what we're going to do in staffing in that area. But I would request $2,700 be added to finance to pay for a differential for the function to assist HR. A lot of the other general fund cost categories went along well. We had a low year in the insurance line item, which is $49,000 under budget. And so with that, I would ask for a reduction in that line item for the current year and for next year. Next year, we discussed it and thought that a 10% increase was probably safe. And so we would leave a little bit more in next year. And then I would ask that we reimburse the contingency reserve for the Commission's use in projects or whatever comes up throughout the rest of the fiscal year. and that would bring it back to $45,000. Those are the general fund revisions requested. All the departments are operating within reasonable parameters at this time of the year, and all the revenues look good as well. Are there any questions regarding the general fund? Okay. We had Seal and Osborne operating funds that look great. The major and local streets and stock and equipment all are reasonable, with a summary which I attached to your agenda item so that you could see how we review those as kind of a lump sum, since it's the same group of staff members operating across those funds. We also have received our first of the gaming compact funds, so we thank the tribe, and we have that is operating exactly on course. The DDA TIFA 1 and TIFA 2, I did have one request. At the end of last fiscal year, I transferred $10,000 from the DDA fund to the DDA Capital Projects Fund. And that was because the DDA Capital Projects Fund was $10,000 with negative cash in that amount. So I transferred that, and this request is just to transfer that right back. The reason for the negative cash was a delay in submissions for the DDA facades grant. So I would expect to see those grant revenues coming in shortly. The LDFA fund is operating on course with no revenue budget and just the debt service obligation as its expenditure. Nothing requested at this time for the LDFA or the debt service fund. We have the parking fund and the parking deck fund, which are operating within reasonable limits at this time. The sewer and water fund I did want to touch on briefly. I'm watching the revenue in that fund. Now, right now it's 25%, but I do have concerns that usage is down below what I expected at this time of year. So we're going to watch it, and I'll come back to you at the December budget review and let you know if I think there needs to be a revision downward in the budget for revenue. The sewer system department in that fund has had a heavy outlay of payment of claims. The budget is $15,000, and right now we have already paid out $24,900. So I'm asking for that budget to be increased by $20,000, not only to cover current expenditures, but in case anything else comes up throughout the year. And one more revision is requested, and that is for the PEHP funds. It was just an error that I excluded the payments to the DPW retirees at budget time. So this year we have $67,900 that we'd like to distribute, and next fiscal year $82,500 would be, because we had a couple of retirees added on. So those are my, and that's my quick summary. Did anyone have a question or comment on any fund besides the general fund?
Anybody have a question? I have just maybe just a comment and a question. The water and sewer fund is the consumption for water is less than we anticipated. Is that what I heard you say?
It's less than I would expect it to be as of September 30th.
Okay, and maybe I'm just asking city manager, we can ask the staff. A few years back, we were replacing old water meters in the community and making sure that, because some of them weren't functioning properly, so that to get a better handle on actual water. Have those been completed, do we know?
We routinely replace meters ongoing.
Yes.
And then we check the old ones every season when there comes a call to replace a meter. Am I right about that?
It's an ongoing process, continually provided for in the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like our billing and our meters are operating quite well right now. I don't see anything off course in that area. So we're looking at billed consumption in total, which is around 50 million cubic feet.
So the assumptions they're not hitting your assumptions, not what the water usage was last year at this time type of thing.
Right. If I go over the last 12 years, as of September 30th, we're around 28% of the year. And right now we're only at 25.
Okay.
And so I'm just giving you the heads up right now. I'm not asking for any revision, but just so you know, I'm going to be watching.
Any other comments or questions?
Need to encourage our residents to start showering more often.
Yeah.
Especially the city commission. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you. City manager?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Director Collins, for that update. One of the bright spots that I wanted to highlight, as the Commission is aware, a long-standing legislative priority has been to advocate for additional funding from the Fire Protection Grant Service Program, through which the state provides funding to the city for it providing fire protection services to state facilities such as Lake Superior. We received information that there is a projected increase that will be confirmed, but is provided for in the budget of approximately 37% for those funds. So that's something that obviously has been underfunded on a long-term basis, and this is a step in the right direction, and of course the city will continue to advocate for full funding of those funds.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Gary?
I make a motion to authorize the budget revisions as outlined in the memo.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Are there any questions? A roll call, please.
Commissioner Gage?
Yes.
Commissioner Gary?
Yes.
Commissioner Lynn?
Yes.
Commissioner Osterhout?
Yes.
Mayor Bosmus?
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
That concludes the city manager's report. Thank you, Mayor and Commission.
Okay, thank you. Item number 7, the status reports. City manager.
To kick off the status reports, just wanted to recognize Bruce Lipponen in the Water Department. He is our maintenance professional, and he was voted as Best City Employee by the Sioux News, the readers of the Sioux News. And just wanted to recognize him and his efforts, and certainly appreciate his dedication to the city.
Congratulations to Bruce.
Item B, under status reports, is the third quarter Exemplary Customer Service Award, and this is for Department of Public Works Operator and Group Leader, George Moran. And just to read the background on this, this is the parameters of the Citizen Service Recognition Program. At its January 18th, 2016 regular meeting, the Sault Ste. Marie City Commission adopted a citizen service philosophy. This service philosophy calls on all employees to take ownership in being positive ambassadors for the city government and the community. To be mindful that first impressions or chance encounters can define the identity of the city and even encourage guests or others to move to or invest in the community, and to strive for excellence in service standards at all times. This service philosophy also states that an emphasis is to be placed on teamwork, a commitment to coworkers, and a prudent management of community resources. At the time of the adoption of this philosophy, the City Commission requested that City Administration develop a means to publicly thank and recognize those employees whose actions reflect and embody the citizen service philosophy. Accordingly, City Administration has developed a process whereby employees are nominated by their peers for excellence in citizen service. These nominations are reviewed by an internal committee that meets quarterly and then forwards its recommendation to the City Manager for approval. I am pleased to announce that Department of Public Works Operator and Group Leader George Moran has earned the Exemplary Citizen Service Award for the third quarter of 2016. And George did prefer that this be presented in this format as a status report. In the position of Operator and Group Leader, George takes extreme pride in his work and pride in being a city employee. He is alert to conditions that affect citizens, constantly looks for ways to improve the operations of the street department, is conscientious in the completion of his duties, and is always looking for ways to be more productive. Having been hired in October of 1997, George has just completed his 19th year of employment with the city, and we thank him for his diligent work ethic that ultimately improves the quality of life for all of our citizens, and thank him for his commitment. Again, I'm pleased to recognize George for earning this award, and thank him for his commitment to the citizen service philosophy. Thank you, Mayor and Commission.
Okay, congratulations also from the City Commission to George, who is not able to be with us tonight, but we all know the Moran family in the community, and George, one of the family members, very hard worker, dedicated. Happy to see that. Great.
And item C under status reports pertains to the general election, on which our Deputy City Manager is planning to provide an update.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited that tomorrow is Election Day in the city of Sault Ste. Marie. I'm sure everybody will be happy to to get this behind us. The polls in the city of Sault Ste. Marie open at 7 a.m. and close at 8 p.m. We have 3 polling locations in the city. Precinct 1 is at the Presbyterian Church. Precinct 2 is at Lincoln Elementary School. Precinct 3 is at Washington Elementary School. We also have an absent voter counting board, which we have a 94% return on our AV ballots that have gone out this year, which is a wonderful return. The absent voter counting board is held here at City Hall in the mayor's conference room, and they'll assemble at noon and then work through the completion of the polls. Voters will be asked to vote for, of course, president, representative in Congress 1st District, representative and state legislator, 107th District, member of the State Board of Education, regent of the University of Michigan, trustee of Michigan State University, governor of Wayne State University, and county offices to include prosecuting attorney, sheriff, clerk, treasurer, register of deeds, drain commissioner, surveyor, and county commissioner. There's also judicial offices and local school board district member. The ballot is legal inside, and there is just one item on the back of the proposal. So voters, if they're interested in viewing a sample of their ballot, they can go to michigan.gov/vote. They can find out what their polling location is. They can view their sample ballot. Information on their clerk is there. If they have any questions, it'll direct them to how to contact their clerk if they have any other additional questions that the website can answer. I am anticipating a very high voter turnout. Michigan seems to be a battleground state, so we are prepared for a high voter turnout. We ask that the voters please be patient. We've put steps into place to minimize wait times and alleviate any bottlenecks in the process, but there could be some wait times at polling locations, and we ask the voters to please be patient with our election inspectors as they'll do their best to keep the lines moving quickly.
Thank you.
Any other questions can be directed to me?
City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Certainly would like to thank Deputy City Manager Troyer, as well as Jen Nelson and Amber Petrangelo in her office, and the poll workers. Preparing for the election has been a tremendous task, and I have absolute confidence in the job that they've done. Thank you.
There's a cadre of volunteers that continue to show up year after year, so we appreciate all of their work. Thank you.
Couldn't do it without them.
Okay.
That concludes the status report section of the agenda. Thank you, Mayor and Commission.
Okay, thank you. Item number 8, matters presented by the public. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to comment at this time? Yes.
Yes, thank you again for opportunity to speak. This isn't something I normally would have come forward about, but since I was at the meeting, it just struck me to bring light to the fact that the Chippewa County Road Commission has just recently, we've achieved substantial completion on the Little Rapids Restoration Project on Sugar Island. And I just wanted to make a comment about that, that project is now essentially complete. There's a few items to be completed in the spring, very small. The bridge is now open to the public, open to traffic. We've installed some parking areas at each end of the bridge structure, and there's a pedestrian walking, fishing platform area off the side, and I just would invite anyone to go take a look at it. It's a very impressive project, beautiful piece of infrastructure, I believe, and a good testament to the folks that we have working around here. We accomplished that project in one season when it was initially looked at as a 2-season project. So very proud to get it done, and just invite everyone to go take a look.
Question, is the temporary road, is that still there, or is it?
That's been completely removed as well.
It is gone? Okay.
Yes, we completed removal of that last week.
Waters are running underneath?
The water is flowing underneath. It is having the desired effect so far as being swift water through there. It was not expected to become a whitewater rapids by any means, but it is very, very swift, shallow water over a rocky bottom. So it's.
City attorney was wondering when the fish are going to show up.
There was some evidence of that the first day the water was flowing. You could see there's a few in there swimming around. So no idea what they are, but.
Oh, so that was a big project, too.
It was a huge project.
Yes.
And I have to put a word out for Payne & Dolan was our general contractor, and Zenith Tech was the sub related to the structure. Both of them excellent contractors, and we completed things on time, actually 2 weeks ahead of schedule, and are exactly on budget. There was no extras, overruns of any sort. So not very often for a project of that size to finish out that way. Definitely very proud of it.
Well, you're more than welcome back here anytime you choose to show up to bring us good information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Anyone else? Cliff?
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. On behalf of the students of Lake Superior State University and our student government, I'd like to personally thank the community of Sault Ste. Marie for such a strong turnout the past 2 weekends of Laker hockey. Our community had a really strong showing at both those weekends. And today I just learned that our Division I hockey team is now ranked 20th in the nation among the NCAA.
Excellent.
Which is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Yeah, I thought, yeah, it was a strong turnout. That's what I was trying to say. Also, I have a request from a student of the Fisheries and Wildlife Club, which is a professional student subunit of the American Fisheries Society and the Wildlife Society. They'll be having their annual whitefish dinner this coming Saturday. It'll take place at 6 p.m., I believe. Tickets are $20 in advance and I think $22 at the door. We will be featuring a silent auction with items donated by local businesses and other members of the community. Be featuring local whitefish from around the region and other sides and dishes to go along with it. If anybody would like tickets, you can contact me directly or contact our secretary, Kelly the Fisheries and Wildlife Club secretary, Kelly Mildebrandt, at kmildebrandt@lssu.edu.
So there's a fish fry, and where's it located?
This will be at the Superior Room in the Sizzler Center.
Okay.
This coming Saturday, I believe it's 6 p.m. I could double check if anybody's interested. This is our annual event. This is actually this is the Fisheries and Wildlife Club's annual largest event that they put on, especially on campus. Something they've been doing every year.
Okay, great. Just comment on the hockey games, which we were at, and the crowd was over 3,000 on 2 of those nights, and 2,500 and 2,800 the other 2 nights, and it's excellent hockey. I think Lake Superior, the last time they were in the top 20 was maybe 2014 or 13, but this team is exceptional. It should hopefully get home ice for the playoffs in March. But that's a ways away, so they're on the road for some pretty tough games here in the next 3 weeks. But
yes.
Back here on the 2nd, they do really appreciate the support of the community, much like all the local hockey programs that exist here. They all have their fans and are really supported well, and this community continues to show up, and it's just great. But it's nice to see the crowds back in Lake Superior. The student sections now, A, B, C, and D, seems to work very well. A lot of noise, a little havoc at times, which is good too. So, it's great to see.
Certainly.
Okay, Commissioner Gage.
On that same point, it's great to see the theme nights coming along.
Mm-hmm.
This Friday night was in honor of Movember, and so everybody had mustaches. Seymour had this giant, huge blue mustache, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was Huber night, and so I think throughout the year they're going to try and have every night be a designated night. So be sure to watch the campus Facebook page and lssu.edu to see what the different nights are, so you can participate.
Another nice feature too was the Rudyard Band helped the Lake State Band on Friday night, and I think they're going to try and get Fridays asking local schools and their bands to show up and support and they get to go up into where they sit, and it sounds like I remember Lake Placid when Michigan was there in Maine, and we didn't have a band, and to hear those, and now we have a small band, but with the students from the high schools supporting the Laker band, and it helps these students see the campus, and we've heard some good things back from the local students that have a chance to go to a hockey game, haven't been to one, are coming back, type of thing. So that's all good. So keep that going. Okay.
Excellent. Totally agree.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to item number 9, matters presented by the commission. Just quickly, our deputy city clerk, city manager talked about voting, and we certainly encourage people to get out tomorrow and exercise your right to vote. We also have a birthday. Can't see him. He's behind the glass and operating the all the techno type stuff. Kelly Freeman is celebrating one of the anniversaries of his birthday. We're not sure which anniversary, but he's not 29 anymore, but he's not much older than 41.
He looks older, though.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Kelly, from everyone here and certainly from the administration and staff. So, Commissioner Gage.
You stole mine. I was going to say that, but that's okay.
Okay.
About Kelly's
I
birthday.
did do that.
But I did have something else. I don't think we've had a commission meeting since, but I had the honor of being in Lansing last Tuesday and was able to check up on our Christmas tree that we sent down to those trolls. And it's sad. They cut off, I think, far too many branches. But I talked to the Capitol Building and Grounds guy that I know kind of well, and he says that what they do is they take those off and they actually put the branches back on afterwards. It was weird, but for those folks who have been to Lansing and seen our tree that's down there, it didn't look so good last week. It looked really bad. They butchered it, but I got assurances that they're going to put some of the branches back on as a means to strengthen the tree.
It's quite a tree.
It's awesome. It was awesome.
Okay. Anyone else? Commissioner Lynn.
Your Honor, I moved that we adjourn this meeting.
Support.
It's been moved, supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Solid hour.
Yeah, we made it.
You said he was behind glass. I was going to visit Jeff.
Little glass, not piping.
You fish over there, Sugar Island, Steve?
Yeah.
You fish everywhere. Get around.